How does this franchise keep getting anime? Itoki was boring while Lycoris Recoil was the opposite. They have no correlation whatsoever, but I watched this right after, and I blazed through it because of how good it was. If you don't know what this is, it's basically if John Wick was a female. Now duplicate that female 20 plus times with different character designs, and you've got an entire agency of orphans that protect the streets of Japan called Lycoris. On one of their missions, an agent gets captured, and we are introduced to Takina, who, after disobeying orders of staying in position, literally jumps the gun to save their colleague and airs the room of enemies out. Because of this, she gets kicked out of the main agency and gets transferred to a more underground division, Lycoris Recoil. This is where she meets child prodigy agent and new partner Chisato, also from the main agency, but left as she was responsible for blowing up the constantly shown old radio tower. I'm glad I wasn't late to Lycoris Recoil because much like Bochi, I saw it trending on Twitter and almost missed it. I love the visual aesthetic. It's very vibrant in its color palette, perfect to match the colorful characters throughout the series. The dynamic between Takina being the straight man, or woman in this case, and Chisato being the ball of energy, while being a commonly used anime trope, is executed quite well here. Kudami is my favorite character in the series. She's just so cute. She's so cute. She has personality. She's intelligent. Her dialogue is witty, which complements her character a lot. Yeah, she's my favorite character outside of the main duo. And it's produced by A1 Pictures, so stellar animation. What more can you say? Like, I highly recommend this one. You know how some shows you don't expect to watch, but it gets advertisements up the ass that it gets thrusted in your face? Ladies and gentlemen, Blue Lock. We follow our main protag, Yoichi Isagi. After losing a crucial high school soccer game, when he gets home, he gets a letter of acceptance to Blue Lock, a new organization created to find Japan's best striker. But he gets a realization as he is going up against 299 other players from the city going for the same end goal, pun all the way intended. This anime takes the all-for-one aspect of soccer and flips it on its head, subverting expectations. You're still on the team, but you have to have the mind and ideologies of a quote-unquote egoist, as constantly mentioned by the creator of the facility, Ego Jinpachi. Aside from the beautiful animation from Studio 8-Bit, Blue Lock has some of the cringiest lines I've heard in a minute. Like, I don't know what the writer is on, but some of the dialogue can be a bit eye-rolling at times. Not too much to take me out of the series, but it's a note that most of its fan base has regarding the show. If you want a soccer anime that's actually interesting, yeah, here you go. My Hero has this thing where the season starts off insanely high, then nosedive massively. For some reason, it just can't keep the same momentum like its shonen counterparts. Because of this, I wasn't caught up and I didn't plan on watching season 6. But I knew that My Villain Academia arc was coming, which gave me the strength and endurance to finish season 5. As of this date, the first core is wrapped up, and like I said, strong start, with the heroes finally invading the League of Villains headquarters thanks to Hawk's book, to Hawk's killing twice, to the long-awaited reveal of Dabi's true identity I'm sure that people saw coming from miles away. Some amazing moments have occurred that I hope can continue in the second core. We'll see though. A decade has passed, and at last we have the last arc of Bleach animated. And from that long time, you can see how much effort was put in the visual aspect, most likely due to Kubo being more hands-on with Studio Pierrot. But yeah, if you haven't seen this yet, what are you doing? One of the most highly anticipated arcs of the past decade finally getting adapted, get on it, go watch it. "6 years of this journey and it came to an end with its final season. What a journey it's been. Our favorite bold-cut Esper got his send-off the right way. You can clearly tell where the priorities were with Studio Bones. Between MHA and this, it's not even fair to compare the two due to the major quality gap. They're on two opposite ends of the spectrum to keep it a buck. The mangaka one is lucky to even have both of his series get god-tier adaptations. That's not something you see a lot. Some I can think of off top are Togashi and Kubo. I'm gonna miss Mob Psycho 100, and I'm not alone in that sentiment. Sayonara, Shigeo. It's been a minute since I watched a good mystery series. Come to think of it, I haven't really seen a lot. But if anything, Summertime Rendering makes me want to dive deeper in that pool. Set on an island off the coast of Japan, Ajiro Shinpei returns home to attend the funeral of his sister Ushio, and after the funeral, he slowly discovers the darkness that lurks within the shadows. Literally, he learns about the existence of quote-unquote shadows after he encounters one of his other sister, Mio. Mio shoots Shinpei, but Shinpei doesn't die. Instead, he loops back to his boat ride to the island. Mans is a whole time traveler and didn't even know it. Gets crazier. Before the festival mentioned within the earlier episodes of the show, he runs into a shadow version of Ushio that appeared on the island a few days prior. Gets crazier. As this happens, a huge shadow creature named Shidehiko is at the festival in a shrine on the top of the stairs, preparing to kill everybody on said island. Gets crazier. Shinpei loops back, but not back on the boat ride, on an entirely different day. That's right, he doesn't loop to the same point, cause that'd be too easy. Now it's up to him and his ragtag team to kill the big bad shadow before the day of the festival. That was a lot of crazy, right? Sounded like a lot of stuff. Well, that was just the first 4 episodes. Yeah. That's Summertime Rendering, a constant showing of opposing forces playing 5D 5-head chess, making strategic moves, one-upping each other in so many creative ways you wouldn't even think of. Lots of plot twists and turns the story took that I wasn't expecting in the slightest. Like, the immersion you experience watching this is insane. Like, I've never been this immersed in an anime, I don't think ever, really. And OLM understood the assignment when it came to the animation, as it's visually stunning. I love the looseness of how everything feels. Like, it doesn't look too digital, which I appreciate. The backgrounds are chef's kiss, the voice acting is amazing, the OST is unique. I love the first outro, Kaika. It sucks that this was stuck in Disney Plus jail and was severely overlooked because of it. One of the best adaptations to come out early 2022. If you're an avid Twitterer like me, you've probably seen this clip towards the latter part of the year. This is Cyberpunk Edgerunners, a Netflix original anime based on the critically acclaimed Cyberpunk 2077. The game has been hyped up for nearly a decade, only for it to be constantly delayed to fix bugs. And upon release, guess what? It still had bugs. But Edgerunners is a different story. Set in the same city as the game, we follow David Martinez, a kid living with his mom in the poorest district who is about to lose everything. He loses his mom in a drive-by shooting that didn't even involve them. Mourning his loss, he goes off the grid essentially, dropping out of school, sending the principal's calls to voicemail, getting his ass kicked by the school bully. He goes to a Ripper dock to get a Sandevesten his mother had implanted in his back. On a train ride, he encounters a woman named Lucy stealing civilians' freeware. She tries to steal David's, but as he anticipates it, he stops her. It's at that point David chooses to be an edge runner. There's many things to praise about this anime. From minute 1 of the first episode, you're immediately immersed in the show from the opening scene. Even with the showcase of the introduction of the freeware with David and the bully. Because I didn't play the game, I was intrigued as to how the world works, and the first episode answered all my questions. Probably for good reason, as the game was a complete shit show. Cyberpunk Edgerunners doesn't hold punches in any aspect, from the mature themes, violence, gore, nudity, substance abuse, and that's what I really enjoyed about it. With every slice of life anime, you need shows like this to balance out the spectrum. Outstanding voice performances, both sub and dub surprisingly, great writing, perfect world building, and such a visually appealing aesthetic and animation from Studio Trigger. The visuals have a vibrance and punchiness that Trigger only perfected over the years. Overall, a perfect series to excuse the trash that was 2077. But yeah, this is just a small percentage of the Atlantic Ocean-sized pool of anime from last year. So many shows that I wanted to see but couldn't because I'm just one person. And so much comes out, you sort of have to pick the ones you're excited for. And with 2023 here, it looks like another year of more blessings from the land of the rising sun to look forward to. But what are some anime you watched in 2022? And which ones would you recommend I watch first? If you rocked with the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, deuces.
I don't need no one else. With you, don't need no one else. Round her, I can lift my bells. Finally, I can be myself.